Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new season of the Purposeful Life Show with your host, Adrian Starks. I'm excited to share some new updates of the show with you, starting with a new look, sound, and energy, as well as a variety of guests coming aboard with intriguing topics of conversation. I hope you enjoy the new level of energy that will be brought to the show. Thank you for all of your support since the very beginning in 2019. Wow, it's been 3 years already? Because of you, the Purposeful Life Show is now in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, and we aim to get it into the top 1%. Continue listening to the show and share it with others. You can also now listen to the show on my Facebook page at Adrian Starks, where you can comment in real time and communicate with me about your aha moments. Thank you again for all of your support, and let's make this one hell of a year and be purposeful about doing that. Wishing you all much love and success. Are you feeling the need to get away from all the distractions surrounding you? Given our current circumstances of being at home more than we have been accustomed to doing, people are becoming more exhausted, stressed, and frustrated. Our lives have been altered, and so have our dynamic structures at home. Do you feel like something is missing? Stay tuned on our new episode as I help you to answer the question, what do you need right now? Welcome to the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up podcast with Adrian Starks. If you're looking for the ideas that could be your breakthrough for change in your business, career, or personal life, this podcast is just for you. Join Adrian as he speaks on topics of self-development and interviews a variety of entrepreneurs, business owners, and thought leaders to reveal their ideas and solutions to success and its challenges. Subscribe to the show and leave a review. It's time to champion up and be a courageous creator of change. Welcome back, my champions, my courageous creators of change, to another episode on the Purposeful Life Show. I am your host, Adrian Starks, and thank you for listening. Today, let's talk about what do you need right now. People are feeling lonely now more than ever, as our ability to go out and experience our world, it has changed. There is stress, frustrations, and exhaustion building up. Did you know that currently the average work time of 2 to 3 hours has been added to people staying at home given this current situation? When I read about this data through an article, I was floored because I'm thinking in my mind, how can that be? I mean, we would assume that being at home means less work, less frustration, and more happiness. That may have been the case in the past, but now our lives have been altered and shaken up a little bit. Families now are being forced to restructure their dynamics in their home settings and how they interact with one another. With everyone being in close-knit quarters, unable to get the consistent space to breathe, reflect, and do the things that interest them without distractions, there has been a drop in self-esteem and feelings of worthiness. I was still, trying to wrap my head around the 2 to 3 hour of extra times being added, and I realized that this time was coming from travel, whether that be by car, train, bus, or plane. Even though you may have been on your way to work, it was still your time. That was the time to think, listen to your favorite music, podcasts, audiobooks, or just sit in peace and quiet. So it doesn't surprise me that our focus is more on distractions now more than ever. It's because we are not able to necessarily have a consistent schedule on knowing that this is my time. Let's shift our focus not on the lack of me time, but more on centering ourselves in the midst of the distractions. We have been so focused on distractions that we are missing the small things that we could do for ourselves that can make a big difference in how we deal with pressure. I'm reminded of a driver of an 18-wheeler truck that misjudged his height and got stuck under an overpass. Local farmers tried to help, and no one could get this thing to move. Then there were some physicists and architects who were asked to come to see if they could help. They all walked around the truck and the overpass with pen and pads in their hand. Everyone was perplexed and couldn't figure out until a young boy riding on a bicycle with a lollipop in his mouth arrived on the scene. As adults would typically say, they told him it wasn't safe and leave. Like a young child, he started asking questions. They said, "Look, the truck is stuck and we are trying to figure this out. Carry on, go." As he begins to balance himself on his bike, he randomly says, "Why don't you just let the air out of the tires?" There was silence. They were shocked, and so were you probably. Why didn't they just think of that? So basic, so simple, and so true. It's because they were focusing too much on the distractions to that problem. They were stuck just like that truck. So I'm going to help you to let the air out of the pressures of feeling like you don't have enough time for you. Instead of us looking at all the distractions of what's not working for us, let's center on what we need. The first step is centering ourselves away from the distractions and to create that space. Yes, we must create and not wait for someone to create it for us. Set 10 to 15 minutes aside in a quiet moment with yourself. Now, here's the thing. You can be creative with this. Choose a closet, a garage, wake up early, stay up late, go outside, get in your car, get creative. Get a pen out and ask the questions, what do I need right now? During this process, be careful and not to blur this question into trying to serve the need of your family or friends. Remember, this is your need. In order for you to center on you, you must put that focus directly on you at the time. The second step, make it a priority to plan to support this need for the next day. Put it on your calendar, but be easy on yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it. Once you do that, make it a plan to support that need for the next 7 days, no matter how small that support may be. The action of doing this helps you to notice you again. I'm going to say this, notice you again. I have learned that every human being wants to feel needed and loved. That is including you. Speaking with my clients, teams, entrepreneurs, and my community of champions, a lot of needs that are coming up are the needs for space, peace, quiet, relaxation, sleep. What are yours? Write them out. Be careful and not to let your negative thinking get in the way. For example, saying that you don't have enough time. Remember that truck analogy earlier. Don't get stuck in that problem. It's all about addressing our need and preparing ourselves to take the initiative to make the small changes to nourish that need. In this process, be clear to communicate openly and honestly with whomever you are living with at the time. Specifically an adult. Children don't care much. Neither will they fully comprehend what you're needing. If you're a single parent, then create that space when they are asleep or napping or find ways to distract them, and I'm sure you can. The point here is that people's needs are being met all day long except yours. I want you to start accepting your needs. It will help you to be you again instead of a human robot. Go to my website, championup.net, and read my blog, The Art of Being Yourself, to help you get more centered so that you can focus on the outside better. I'll put the direct link in the notes section of the show. I want you to remember that your needs matter 100%. It is when you begin to focus a little more on you and center yourself and give yourself that self-love, you'll be able to reciprocate that back out to the people that are surrounding you. This is not being selfish. It's called having self-love. You are important, champion, and it does matter that you get back to taking better care of you. Until then, I encourage you to be that courageous creator of change in your life. This is the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up Podcast with myself, Adrian Starks, and thank you for listening. Subscribe to the show and connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube at Champion Up with Adrian Starks. Go to championuppodcast.com to be inspired by more life-changing content. Until then, I encourage you to be that courageous creator of change in your life.